When I was younger, I made a documentary. I called it The Search for Magic. Magic? But since then, my search has continued.
I'm here at the very beginning of perhaps the grandest project I've ever seen. Steve here. He plans to build a house with nothing but his bare hands.
This is man world.
I have no budget, but I do know that we've run out of money. We're going to build that in 1 year.
Some would call it courageous, others sheer folly.
My search has continued. In fact, it's deepened. And that's the journey that I'm going to take us on now. We're going to continue the search for meaning. It seems like the perfect moment to find out what we've all, as a collective, decided is real. Grand design interiors.
Am I allowed to let on that you're my niece, or am I treat you as you're a respected member of the media?
With mysterious similar features in common between the three of these members of the cast. All right, I'm doing my intro now. So hello, we begin our journey right now. Welcome to Grand Design's Interior. We last met Steve building his dream house in the Blue Mountains. To be correct, dream houses. But that was a few years ago. To start the series, we're talking to Steve about Steve. We're going inside. So Steve, what's been happening since we met you?
Well, okay, now I'm starting to understand what this program is. What has happened? Well, I'm just trying to remember the original program. I think I touched on sort of a destabilizing of the marriage. And so since that time, I have split up with, separated, and now divorced Sahela, and built another house again. So sort of like, it's like a little township now. And the house that I'm talking to you from here didn't exist when we did Grand Design's exterior. So we're in a little, we're in a little sort of house on.
So am I right in thinking this is a new building, not one of the ones that I've seen before, or that was the?
Yeah. So this is a new building. If you want to have a little look, it's a little bit in the style of, the ones that you've already seen.
Yeah, fantastic. And so who lives in this current building?
Who lives in it? I live in it with my new partner, Emma. We call it a cult, sort of for a joke, but I think the people who live in our suburb probably also think of us as a cult. I think we're the weirdos in the bush in those strange buildings down the end of the street.
So is there anything about it that makes it particularly cult-like? How many people are there altogether? And I seem to remember I did have a brief visit with a few friends recently, and there seemed to be another property attached with, and he had some going on.
That's right. Well, the cult, that's correct. So we have 4 buildings in the on the property, and there's the main house, which I've been evicted from. There's this new building, which we call the letterbox, and the original building, which is called the Shouse, which you'd remember from your first program. And that's being rented now by another prominent cult member, and her sister bought the adjoining property. And so her husband, who she's now divorced from also, and their 2 very young children are living next door.
Wow, there's a lot to unpack there. I don't know where to begin.
Yeah, but we do. What do? We have a lot of we celebrate, occasions together. We do have some rituals. We have a kind of like an Olympic Games every year, and we what do we do? Like we have a sword which we set on fire. If there's a young person's 21st, we dip them in the creek, and wave the sword around. And
A lockdown wonderland. So turning a bit to music now, where are you at musically? I saw we've got the new songs have come out, which brings us together today.
yeah, no, I do. I have been making music. So I have had a bit of a tumultuous period since my divorce, and but that was good fodder for music, and so I've got lots of songs, and being housebound has been really handy actually.
And dragonflies.
I started doing projects.
Wonders fill my ears and eyes.
I notice you've definitely got an undeniable creative flair, and this seems to come out both in your music and in the houses. You make these beautiful designs seemingly out of your own head. And so I just wanted to ask the question, between the building and the music, where's the real Steve?
Is that a serious question, or it just looked good when you wrote it down? Is it a real question?
Steve, she's trying to get to your essence. Go to your...
Yeah. Oh, well, look, I think I am a creative person, just like you are and your father is. And I have discovered as I get older that it doesn't really matter what I do. I just like making stuff. So that is my essence, doing the buildings is no different, really. I've started to realize it's just no different to writing a song or something. It's just sort of something to keep you occupied and makes you feel good.
And do you feel like writing songs is a way of sort of processing things just by...
I think that writing songs calms me down because I think it makes me kind of feel like I'm closer to whatever I am.
With my boy and my dog.
So I'm interested to know about the lyrics of the song.
I have a very good friend in Melbourne who wrote a letter. He was actually surprised that I wrote a song out of it, but it was just that was a letter where he was talking about his concerns about the future and his child.
And I fear what tomorrow might bring us.
Who isn't feeling like that at the moment? You know what I mean? The response coming from it is really interesting. It's reminding me a lot of when I did a song a long time ago called Family Man. There's a lot of really emotional responses, particularly from men, which is really interesting.
Tools down, family man. It's been a long day.
And that was definitely one of the reasons we wanted to do this sort of interior, was we feel like, especially in lockdown, like everyone is really feeling that sort of united feeling of looking inward and outward and feeling kind of sad and worried. And I think it is really good time to make things that make people think a bit, which Yeah.
It'd be nice if it'd be lovely if it stayed, wouldn't it? You can't help thinking something good is going on.
Just looking through these questions that Dad's helpfully helped with. Tell me about the highs and lows.
My whole life.
Yes, Steve.
Well, I have maintained for a while, and I really believe it. I'm not just saying it, that since I was 50, I definitely have been enjoying life much more.
I'm interested to know, as someone in my 20s who obviously talk to a lot of people in their 20s, and I'm finding there is a lot of angst in this period, specifically this 10 years. It seems to be quite difficult, I would say, emotionally. Do you reckon it gets better after your 20s on the way to that magic 50 number, or?
Yeah, I do. I think I'd agree with my dad, your grandfather, that I remember him saying when he turned, actually maybe said it about 40. I'm not sure whether it was 40 or 50, but he said suddenly he was just so much happier. And the reason that he was so much happier was because he didn't have to impress anyone anymore. You know what I mean? I guess what he was saying was that for the first 40 years of his life, he'd spent trying to look good for somebody else, you know, either his parents or people at school. And I think I can understand that. There's a point where you just sort of like, you certainly don't look physically good anymore, so you don't have to worry about that anymore. You know what I mean? Like you just can start being yourself. You're finding out what that is. I'm not going to say journey. I'm not going to say journey at any point in this conversation. You can tell a person by how quickly they say the word journey.
I bet there's a lot of them up there in the Blue Mountains as well.
Oh yeah.
Eating their hippie food, talking about their journeys. Far out, that's really, really great to hear though. I always feel like you've answered the question that I asked earlier, between the music and the house, where's the real Steve? It sounds like it's happening every day.
I accidentally answered it.
Definitely.
Serious boy with guitar, lay a tune on me.
Why do you think music connects people?
Oh, right. Oh, well, I reckon music is like a secret language, and yeah, it definitely connects people. There's something quite weird about it, isn't it? Yeah, I just think it's a secret language that seems to transcend any other language, really.
Well, there's been some fascinating insights here, and definitely some advice I'm going to take for myself personally. But thank you so much for interviewing. It's great to see you again and to see the interior of one of the many houses up there in the Blue Mountains. So I'll say goodbye for now, and good luck for lockdown. Until next time, we get another update.
Yeah, thanks, Ellie. All right, good. And you stay happy, keep doing yoga on the beach.
What did you say that?
Are you really doing yoga on the beach, or are you pretending?
A bit of both.
When I was young, I was searching, and I still am.
Looks like yours will take you places, and we all agree. Watch yourself flick your hair, light a cigarette, take a call on your mobile, haven't lost it yet.